2 people have died at a French restaurant in the Gambia as a result of sewage management issues. Kenya is experiencing the worst pest infestation on its agricultural sector in 70 years. Revenue authorities in Banjul has closed down Semlex biometric company. This and more coming on the world today. Hello, it is 1400 GMT here in our studios in Banjul. You're watching The World Today on iAfrica TV. I am Amadou Kante, and now the news in detail. President Adama Barrow has challenged the University of the Gambia to uphold its role in the production of biometric citizens to take charge of the country's complicated political situation. The Gambia, under his leadership, has for the past 2 years been loaded with so many transformational families, with a very few working well. A lot of leadership ideas after the end of the 22-year rule of former President Jammeh in 2016 have either died or are heading to a very wrong direction. The President, in his address during the 12th convocation ceremony of the UTG, used the opportunity to attract more than 8,000 graduates to help in the building of robust and accountable institutions. Let's listen to the President in this insert.
In addition, academics in our educational institution, notably the university, must be objective, empirical and rational in dispensing their responsibilities and handling issues, discourses and matters of national interest. Academics must also toil for the emergence of true patriotic citizens in a new socio-political context, wherein the orientation will create new Gambians for sustained peace and development. The objective is to enable the new Gambia to be built on and around an ethical template to forge a society free from the circles of hunger, need, and greed. The vision is a nation that the university and all educational institutions should help to build. A nation free from extremism and prejudice, and a nation built on equity in a new Gambia whose institutions are robust, accountable, and able to stand the test of time. It is evident that Gambians have the energy and determination to promote and protect freedom, peace, and stability, and uphold the highest level of human rights.
The weekend ceremony of the University of the Gambia backed the conferment of degrees on students in 11 different disciplines. From that development of the 12th edition of the convocation of the University of the Gambia over the weekend, next we head to Zimbabwe, where prisoners in the Zimbabwe's open prison are more of innovators than inmates. Some of them are being trained with lifetime changing skills, whilst in prison there is not much noticeable difference between inmates and prison guards, as they both build a very close relationship. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Inmates Simon Chimbudzi and Netsai Shua are walking out of prison, but this isn't a jailbreak. They are going to work in the vegetable gardens that feed the prison. A fellow inmate is doing a client's hair, while others carve wooden artifacts. Just another day at Zimbabwe's one-of-a-kind correctional facility, where the guard towers aren't manned, and this security fence is more to demarcate the compound's perimeter than to keep anyone from trying to escape. Connemara is an open prison. There are no regimented schedules and no uniforms for both guards and inmates.
We want to try and humanize the inmates so that you cannot see the difference, but the difference is there. I am the boss and he is a serving inmate, but our relationship is just signed. We normally use the terms mbuya, sekuru mzukuru, so that's aunt, cousin, nephew, and all those things. So just to show that There's no the word prisoner. There is no any other word that you can use except to say my aunt, my uncle.
Inmates also get to go home on some weekends and holidays.
Last Christmas, I was in my rural village and slaughtered a beast for my family. Home visits have helped me to start putting my affairs in order before I am released.
Chimbudzi has 14 months left on a 12-year sentence. Leaving a few months after him will be Rizan Mare, who spent his time at Connemara studying leather technology at a nearby technical college.
So this is part of rehabilitation that we are doing, preparing myself to suit well in the community when I get back after serving my sentence. So I think I'm going to start my own business. There's no need for me to look for employment anywhere else.
If his plans work out, he'll add to the growing success stories of a correctional system that's set to be extended to women whose own open prison is due to be built near the capital soon.
Well, from that, of course, interesting report there in Zimbabwe. Next we come back home and, of course, report in a developing story. 2 Gambian youth have died in the process of rendering sewage services at a French restaurant in Pipeline along the Kairava Avenue on Friday. They were reported to have drawn into the sock-away field to capacity at the La Parisienne restaurant, slightly opposite the American Embassy. Eyewitnesses say the 2 boys slipped through the tiled floor and fell into the hole in the process of their work. The fire and rescue service rushed them to Sarhab Medical Clinic, where they were pronounced dead. iAfrica is keeping in touch with police and rescue service to establish the cause of the incident. More news on the circumstances to the death of the 2 boys will be featured in our later news bulletin. And from that unfortunate incident, we will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of the stories. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You are watching The World Today on iAfrica TV, and now to the rest of the stories. Now, the controversy that surrounded the assignment of SIM-legs for the production of national documents appears swollen as the Gambia Revenue Authorities ordered the closure of the company over tax evasion dispute. Hundreds of applicants of national documents found the SIM-legs headquarters in Carnifin shut, with presence of revenue enforcement police in the area on Monday morning. The new government initially cancelled the controversial contract by the Jammeh administration that offered Belgian-based company to issue biometric identification and border control systems. The 5-year agreement grants SIM-leg a 70% share of the profits, a move highly criticized by civil society organizations. As of January this year, over $155 million has been generated from the issuance of national identification cards, biometric passports, according to the Gambia Immigration Department. The Gambia Revenue Authority is holding press conference later today to detail out the basis for the closure of the document production company. And we hope to bring you more details in our subsequent news bulletin. From that, next we head to of course, in Ethiopia, where African leaders have renewed commitments to build lasting peace and transformation of Africa with the view of silencing the guns in the continent. During the African Union's 33rd summit in Addis Ababa, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa replaced his outgoing U.S. chairperson Abdel Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt. President Ramaphosa says close ties among states will guarantee a safe continent. Let's have more details of that in this report.
The opening session of the 33rd African Union Summit has been attended by presidents, prime ministers, and thousands of other participants. This year, the theme is silencing the guns, creating conducive conditions for Africa's development. In his address to the Assembly, the outgoing chair of the Union, also President of Egypt, Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, said, for a lasting peace, regional integration and free movement of people must be a reality soon.
For us, achieving the integration of the continent cannot be efficient if we do not promote the infrastructure of Africa, linking the